Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today's video will be another journal with me, and I am super excited to be filming this video because I feel it's been a while since I made a video where I had time for myself and I could sit down and do a nice spread um, without having to worry about the time I have or the lack of it, in fact. So I chose this junk journal that I made using all sorts of junk papers, vintage papers, and some paper packs. And I am basically using this to do the autumn prompts by 49 Dragonflies. I just love her channel and I have been following her channel from a very long time. Most of my inspiration comes from her channel, and I have told this so many times over in my previous videos as well. So over here I am just gluing some book page on the right hand corner of the page and adding another decoupage paper. It's just a portion of the page that I had in my leftover paper pack or paper stash. So I'm gluing it in onto the right side of the paper. At this stage, the basic idea that I had was I would go with a blank page on one side so that I get more freedom to create something, and a page with an image on the left side, so that it already gives me a pretty background to work with. Now I am just using up this brown vintage paper. In fact, this is a page out of a craft paper journal, which I wasn't using, and I thought I could use up this paper as a replacement, or as a alternative to tea dyed or coffee dyed paper, since the color clearly is in that beige kind of neutral tone. So I have been really using up these papers a lot in my journals in the recent past, and I'm totally loving the look it gives to the entire spread because it already looks very vintage style, and I don't have to do much of the work. It's pre-made. It makes my job so much easier to use these papers. So that's like a quick tip for you guys, if you are all interested in journaling in this style and do not really have the time to make your own tea dyed or coffee dyed papers. Then I would suggest just pick up some brown papers. Maybe they could also be papers from your paper bags, your grocery bags, or things like that. They usually come in these brown colors, so that works very well in the journal spreads. So I just created a flip out kind of a page, just trying to cover up that area which had the writing of the page, and I left the top portion as it is because I did not want to cover up the beautiful image that was there on that page. And I'm just gluing up this pocket sort of a flip out that I created. Now I'm just collaging over it and inking up the small bits of images that I had. So I just used up some ticket images that I had because they are tiny and they would look nice in the corner there. Going in with any heavy image would just not go very well because the image on top was already very bright and beautiful. I didn't want to go in with any other botanical images on this corner, and I kept it very neutral with tickets. On the right side now I'm using up this ephemera piece that I got from a vintage paper pack from handmade.in, and I just cut it out and inked it on all sides and rounded up the corners, and I'm going to use this as a tip in the journal, just to give it that extra space for journaling, and also to use up those pretty journaling cards that came with the pack. Now I am adding this beautiful grid style paper. In fact, it's washi that I had, and since I didn't want to discard it, the remaining part I just tore it into few bits and stuck it all around. So I just wanted to use that on the right side because it would give a nice background to whatever I was going to add on top of it. Basically, I was going to stamp the prompt on top of that grid space, but then soon I changed my mind, and you will see that I have stamped out the words as autumn journal, which was not in my plan, but I don't know, I just felt that fit right over there, and so I used up the same brown paper and stamped in the words autumn journal. And again, I'm going in and inking the edges just like I always do, to create more of that distress look, vintage look. And so yeah, that is the header or a title for the page. In fact, I could have stamped something related to the prompt, but I did not do that. Instead, I just did something else. So I just added some more washi tapes. All of these are in the theme of vintage or fall kind of pattern, and they had this beautiful autumn leaves, so I stuck it in the places where I felt it could look nice. So I'm just gluing up that title of the page on the right side, and now I am choosing the prompts to go with for both the sides. So I decided to go with two prompts. One was the favorite quote of autumn, and the other was the things I love about this time of the year, or something like that. I think it was prompt number 10 and 11, if I'm not mistaken. So I was just following up the prompt and looking up some quotes online. I usually go for Pinterest or just randomly search over Google and find the things that I want to write in my journals. Most of the times I find lovely quotes which I try to save on my Pinterest account, but then it's very rare that I go back to my account and look into those images again and use them up. I just whenever I have to pick out a quote or something like that, I just directly Google it and choose whatever I like at the first go. So yes, I do have a book where I do make a habit to write down some nice quotes that I come across, but then I am thinking of typing them out and printing them out and maybe keeping them so that I can use it as ephemera in my journals, or I could use them as additional phrases or quotes around here, my collages. So yeah, that has been in my mind since a long time, and probably I'll work on it very soon. So on this tip-in, I am just journaling in about the things that I love about autumn. There's so many things I love about this season, and I just could write so many more things, but since there was no space, I stopped it at the last point, being that my birthday is soon arriving and I'm super excited. And whenever there's fall or autumn around, I feel that my birthday is coming around, and it just reminds me of the good times that I get to have with my friends and family. So that is it for today, guys. Here is a closer look of the journal spread. I hope you all had a really good time, because I did. I thoroughly enjoyed creating this spread and taking you guys along as I was filming this and editing this. So thanks for watching so far, guys. I hope you all have a lovely day. Thanks for watching again. Bye, guys. Take care. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe.